told you I would share some of the things that I've written down this year. So I'm going to walk you through some of the stuff I wrote down, and I'm going to tell you how I came to this stuff. I shared this in our Joy-Filled Mothers Club membership community. We had a New Year's kickoff call where we talked about goal setting and planning, and I shared this with a few of the gals, and they were like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought to do that, but that's so smart. And so I was like, you know what? I need to share this on the podcast, dude. Everybody needs to hear about this because it just made it so simple to set my vision and my goals for the year. So I did my 2025, or 2025. 2025 is so yesterday. 2026. I did my 2026 bingo card, my aspirations. I wrote down a bunch of stuff, and then I was really like chewing on it and mulling it over. And I was like, I was thinking of these words, and I was really praying that God, I really do want like a word that can just kind of encompass what I'm after this year. Because I mean, I don't know, I just feel excited about 2026. I feel excited about my health. I feel excited about, podcast stuff and business stuff, and I have, big dreams when it comes to that, and our family, like I just feel excited, and I just want to encompass everything. And so I was just kind of chewing on stuff and mulling over stuff, and I would like I felt like the word was on the tip of my tongue, but I couldn't quite nail down the right word that really embodied everything that I was feeling. And so what I did was I went to our dear friend ChatGPT and I said, I need help coming up with a word for 2026. I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't quite pinpoint the perfect word. This year, I'm really focusing on just becoming the best me in all areas. And then I listed out some of my goals. I just want to feel like the most vibrant version of myself, confident, healthy, joyful. And I shared some words that I've kind of tossed around, but they just don't feel quite right. And I said, can you give me 10 to 15 word or phrase ideas? And so it gave me a bunch of different ideas, and then we kind of nailed it down together. It told me what like it would recommend, like based on what you said, here's kind of what I'm thinking. And so then I kind of nailed down a word, and then I had it give me a intention and a phrase, examples of like a short paragraph, things like that. So we worked through all of that together. I kind of had it, I was like editing it and like, hey, can you combine like option 1 and option 3 together? And what we ended up with was it just feels so right for everything I was feeling going into 2026. I also had to help me come up with like, hey, like give me some ideas of like a good verse that would go with this. I had some that I was kind of thinking of, and actually the one that it gave me was the one that I was already thinking of. So that was cool. So I'm going to actually read my stuff to you because why not? And I'm not going to lie, this feels a little vulnerable because I don't usually share like my word for the year or things like that. But you know what? I think that maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe that's why I haven't like ever really followed through with any of this kind of stuff, is because I haven't shared it. And I think part of really committing to something is sharing it, because then there's accountability. Like I want you to ask me like partway through the year, like, hey, are you still on track? Like, are you still checking in? You still doing that? So I did my bingo card, and then and I made, like I said, I'm a notes app girl, so I made a folder in my notes app that's has all of my stuff. So my word for 2026 is vibrant. My vision statement is, in 2026, I choose vibrancy in my body, in my habits, my creativity, and my joy. This is my year of vibrancy. I choose to live awake and engaged in my body, my creativity, and my faith. I'm growing stronger, healthier, and more confident one day at a time. I create again, not for pressure, but for joy. I show up fully present in my life, my work, and my calling, choosing what brings energy, color, and life. I release urgency and embrace consistency, choosing life-giving rhythms again and again. This year, I am vibrant, taking up space, and fully alive. And my verse is John 10:10. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. And that was something that all of that, I worked together with Chat to come up with that. And I love the word vibrant. My focus is life to the full. Like, I don't want to live half a life. I don't want to live anything but the abundant life that Jesus came to give me. Jesus came so that I could have. And so, vibrant, life to the full, that's really what encompasses my goals for 2026.